So we've opened Microsoft Access. Sorry. All right, so we've opened up Microsoft Access. Has everybody gotten to this point? Andrea? Okay, just want to make sure. We're going to go ahead and open up a blank database. So we're going to double click blank database. Right off the bat, we're going to hit this little save icon up at the top. Save. We're going to call, oh, this is a table. I don't want to save the table. I want to save the whole database. Save database as. Go file, save database as. And we're going to call this one Kamashali Design. Now let me tell you why this is important. Every assignment in this class builds upon the last assignment. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start building this database, and if you don't build chapter 1, chapter 2 requires chapter 1. So chapter 2 will be harder to do because if you get to chapter 3, you need 1 and 2. So we're going to go all the way through with all these growing. I'm going to go ahead and enable my content.
Do me a favor.
I have to do your database too?
No.
I'm recording it for you. What?
I connected to my network, and it's asking me to connect to the network, but the network is too far away.
To the folder, Seagate.
Yeah, can you disable that?
Isn't accessible. The folder may be located in undeveloped. What the heck are you doing?
I don't know. It record everything on my. Just disable it, because I'm not that good.
I'm just going to put it on your desktop, okay, Domingo?
Okay, see you.
All right, I think now.
Yeah,
There it goes. Okay. Sorry, it's on your desktop. It's called Database 1.
Database 1?
Uno. You want to call yours Kamashali Design. Did you not get a book?
No,
You sure you don't want to run Gravity? All right.
don't waste our time.
Oh, I don't want to open the one I have already there. All right. So we can go ahead and create some objects here. What we're going to do is we're going to create a table. And so let's go ahead and look at what we have here. If we look up top, we're using, once again, the ribbon from Microsoft Office. So it's great. Once we learn one thing, we learn the next thing and the next thing. This one has a few different things like sort and filter. This would be found in Excel. It's a little more intense here. Records, we haven't had that one before unless you use mail merge, but that's probably a little more advanced than most people have done. Find and replace we've had. Text formatting, we've seen this one before. And clipboard, we've had that. Views is a little different, and we're going to get really used to this little one over here. So this is going to be one of our anchors in Access. So it's going to be something that we go back to time and time again as we build forms, as we build tables, and then we want to look at what it looks like in action. So let's go ahead and create a table. We want to go ahead and I'm trying to see if we're going to do this in, good, we're going to do it in the design view. So I'm going to go ahead and drop down this. Does everybody just have their first table right there? I'm trying to see why I don't have it. There we go. Here we go. So we should look at like this, correct? You don't have this page up? Do you see table 1? Do me a favor, Shane. Just go File, or just do Control N and do a new one. And then just click blank database right here.
Is it going to still save it as?
We'll save it as a different thing. Let's just get here. Create click table. Here's another one just for you. Table 2.
Yep.
Good to go?
Kamashali, not database 7.
I like it. Let me close that. Thank you. All right, so we're on table 1. If we flip to page AC16, AC16, we will see a structure of what we want this table to be like. Now, when I say structure, up to this point in Excel, if we want to type a list of things up in Excel, what do we need to do? Click it, start typing. That's exactly what we do. We just click it, we start typing. Access, though, is going to make it available to us to create como se dice, idiots from touching our stuff. So, like we can prevent people from doing bad things or prevent them from doing the wrong thing in a cell. So has anybody ever been on a website before and it says, please enter your phone number? As soon as you start typing your phone number, the parentheses are there, and it doesn't let you type anything but numbers. Has anybody seen that? That's a database with someone going into a field saying, the only thing that can go in here is numbers. So we can set that parameter, and we can say, hey, I only want there to be 20 characters in here. Or it can only be a number. Or it has to be a date. It has to be pulled up from another database. That's an advanced thing. So we have to be able to look into a table and pull something out. So that's what we're going to do here. Instead of looking at solely, let me go back to File here, Home. Instead of looking at it from this view, which is we could start typing data, we want to click on this. And this is our design view queue. So we have that square, the pencil, and the ruler. We're going to go ahead and save the table, but we're going to save the table as business analyst. Is that what we're calling it? Hold on 1 second here. Oh, it's not going to have us jump into redefining it really quick? I think we're going to have to. I like what we have right here, but we're going to go ahead and save it as business analysis, or analyst. And there it goes. Now, I just clicked this button, and it had me save the file, or the table name, which is this one right here. And it opens up into what we call our design view. Now, our design view is a little tricky, because what it's done is it's taken all of our columns, and it's brought them down and aligned this way. So now we're looking at them vertically. And we can define, did it work?
No, I'm having some problem. I got some virus issues that just started in.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm scanning, trying to.
I don't like virus issues. You can go see Rich afterwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
He'll wipe them out for you. Shane can do it right now. Yeah, design view. Now notice that this is labeled primary key. By default, our ID field name is called the primary key. We can only have one primary key per table. That's the single thing that has to be different for everything. And it's called an auto number. Can anybody guess what an auto number is going to do? It's going to what?
Automatically number.
Yeah, it's just going to say, oh, first one's 1, next one's 2, next one's 3, next one's 4. If you delete number 4, oh, well, I'm not using 4 again. I'm going to go to 5. It's just going to continuously put it going up. And it's a very simple way to make sure that every single record has at least one field that's different so that we can keep them segregated. Okay, so the first one, we have this primary key. We're going to change the name of this one, though, to business analyst number. It's a, we can go down here. We can see what kind of field size is it. We're going to actually change, we're going to leave this as a long integer. And we want to make sure that where it says caption, we're going to say BA space hashtag. See that? BA hashtag. Now, I'm just going to show you what happens if I click View. I'm going to save it. Notice that it doesn't say business analyst number. That caption that we put in is now going to be listed as the description up here at the top. So it's kind of nice. So that's what captions do. So we've got that. Why don't we flip back over to our regular table view, which is what this is now. Table view. And we're going to go ahead and start defining each table. So right here, we want to add a table. We're going to go ahead and click to add it. We're going to say what it is. We're going to make this one text. We're going to call it last. And then we're going to go ahead and put all the other, or last name, excuse me, last name. Then I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to put text. We're going to call this one first name. Click on this one. We're going to name this one street. Oops. This one's going to be text. We're going to call it state. You can use tab as a shortcut key. Tab becomes very useful in Access. So if I hit tab, notice it automatically brings up. I can say, okay, this one is going to be my zip code. So my zip code I can actually change, or my postal code, excuse me, I'm going to make it a number. And I'm going to call it postal code. Then we have salary year to date, which is going to be a number. YTD. Then we're going to have incentive year to date. Oops, that's going to be a number. We're going to go back and be able to fix any of these if you don't get number or anything. I'm going to show it to you. We're just putting these in. And is that all we have here? Yep, an incentive year to date. So we have all these. We've now entered in, this is not a record, this is the fields that we're going to use. So for every person, we're going to collect their last name, first name, street address, city, state, zip code. One of the things just in real world database structures you'll find is that like street, you actually want to split that up into 3 fields. One is the number. Then you want to have the street name. And then you want to have road, circle, boulevard, whatever it is after that. And then you even want to have like a suite or an apartment number after that. And you do that in the real world because then when you do like postal mailings, everything can be sorted by certain things and it makes the postal code better. But also, the more detailed we get it, the more we can refine the search by. So if we wanted to say, I want everybody that's in the 100 block of this road, we can search based on the number and the road. So but we have to separate those things. So the more combined we put the data, it looks a little bit easier at the beginning, but it's harder for us to pull information from at the back end. Okay. Question, Shane? Okay. How are we doing? Is everybody okay so far with this? Caitlin's like, I don't know, Mr. Greer. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. It's all right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save this one. Go ahead and hit save. Now we're going to go in and we're going to check the structure of this table. And we can do that by hitting Design View. We can come in here, and according to the book, we're supposed to have a text. I'm on page 22 right now. We're supposed to have this be text, not auto number. So I can go ahead and just click on it, come down. As soon as I switched it to text, if you'll notice that everything down here changed. Like I got a bunch of different features. It's telling us that what we need to have is only a field size of 2. Question, why would we only want 2 characters in that field? Anybody have an idea? Computer nerds, please. Why would we only want 2? No, 2 characters. That means the highest number we can get to is going to be 99. But why? Why would we want to limit the field size? Because every character is going to take up space. So if we put 255 characters and we're only going to ever use 2 of them, every field is going to be saving 255 or 253 unneeded characters. It's just going to make your file sizes much bigger. So if you're in programming, the more efficient we can make a program, the faster it goes. If we're in networking, the same thing. That's why we put scopes on networks. We're going to do the same thing with the file size here. It's going to make it faster in the future. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm going to flip back to page, it's the first page that we had here. Back to page 16. And you'll see that all of what we're supposed to do here is on page 16, AC 16. So this first one's supposed to be a field size of 2. The second one is supposed to be a field size of 15 for the last name. The next one down, first name. Yes?
Sorry, which
design view. Next one down is going to be 15. So all these texts are supposed to be 15 until we get to a little bit lower here. So this one's supposed to be 15. This text is supposed to be 15 characters. The state, it says we're only supposed to have 2 for the state. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2. And the postal code, I put number, but it's saying no, we should have a text entry. So I'm going to make it text. And we want to have it be 5. And then instead of a number, the last 2 are supposed to be what?
Currency.
Currency. This is correct. Boom. So now we've set this table up in a way that when we input information, it's going to accept each one of these fields as text and each one of these fields as currency. Can we put in A into salary year to date? No, because it's not going to be a currency. A means an alphabet number or a letter. It's not going to be a number. Okay.
But on the postal code, you put text. So that's supposed to be number.
Well, we limited this one to 5, and we'll come up with a little bit better. We can limit it to numbers only in a future chapter. We're going to have an input mask is what we call that, where it can only be one thing. So we can do that. But I don't want to pop your your brain today, so we'll take it slower. So let's go ahead and flip to page 23. And we're going to start inputting people. We're going to go down here to, on page 24, number 4. We can see that we have on design, or now we're going to go to the table view. I'm going to save it. So the BA number is 11. It's the business analyst number. The person's last name is Carey, first name Cordella. They live at 251 Painter in Georgetown. Oh, I didn't put city in here. So look, I've come up with an issue. I don't have city. Oh no, what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and right mouse click and say insert a field. I'm going to call this one, rename it, city, rename it. There we go. Georgetown, NC 28794. Salary year to date, 3,200. Incentive year to date, 3,450. Now I hit enter. When I hit enter, it took me to the next record. That's important. So it's kind of like Excel. Tab, 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 enter. Takes you back to the beginning. New row, new field. So on AC25, there's another person here, which is Manuel Martinez. I'm going to put him in.
Mr. Greer,
Yes, sir.
how did you add in the city?
I went like this. I went right mouse click and then down to insert field. And you just do that, the 2 that you want. You can also come up here and grab this. If I want to move it, I can just grab it and move it wherever it wants to go. So if you put it in the wrong spot, you can just drag it to the right one. How do you do that? You click on the column heading, and you click and drag it. Got to hold on to it. It's very similar to Excel, yes. So I'm going to put his street address in, 3125 Steel. And they're in Kyle, South Carolina, 28797. This guy's made 3,100, and year-to-date incentive is 2,430.
It's 30. There's 32.
Now, if I need to change anything in this view, Just like Excel, I can just use my arrow keys, move around, go to it, and change it. It's very simple. I'm going to hit save. But an interesting thing compared to Excel, as soon as I put something in here, it's theoretically being saved. Okay, it's not about saving each record. As soon as we've advanced and gone to the next record, it saved that last record automatically. So we have to go back, if we want to change it, we have to go back and fix it. It's not going to just disappear. So this is a good time to take a break. We're going to pause right here. Let me pause the Camtasia. We're back up and running. So now we can start and go ahead and go back into this database. And one of the ways we can do that is if we just go ahead and save the database. And then we're going to exit out of Access. So we're going to go ahead and just hit exit. It might prompt us to save, but in that case it didn't. So we're out. Then we can get back in, click on Access. It'll be the last one that came up. It should say Kashmali Design. If you did it, I didn't save it as that. I apologize. We'll notice that the exact same thing is here. So I've hit Enable Content. My same table that I had before. Double click. It's all built, ready to go. So we've saved it, we've exited, we come back in, and everything is still there just as it was before. It's not there. Did you find it, Andrea? Or you just mess with me? Andrea's like, I don't see it. Is it gone? Are you finding it? You're locating it. You're fired. I believe also you can go to, well, you could do recent. And it'll show you the last thing that was there. Did you find it? Don't tell me yes if you didn't find it. I'm going to tell all of you found it, but the information's not there? Kamashali? You opened it, but the information's not there? Did you have another one that you had done, like I did? So mine says Kamashali Design 2. Did you find another one there, Caitlin? It's just like, I swear I found it. I swear it's here. There. No? Is this from the first time you took a class? Sorry, that's on YouTube. I got it. Did you?
Is it this?
Well, but did you just make that?
Yeah. Well, what we just did, that's what it is.
Customers. Did you actually make what we just did? This is all further in the class. Yeah, there it is. You just need to double tap it. Okay. You had it. Okay. So we got this. Let's go ahead and look at some of these basic things we can do. Double click on it. First thing that we can do is we can look at it and say if we wanted to add some people, which it looks like we're going to add 2 new people to this. So it's Jan Liu and Jeff Scott. And what? Oh, page 28.
Is your mic on?
Yes. Testing. Yeah, I see it. It's green. Okay, it's going. Guitar Center.
Really?
Yep. So I'm going to put Jan Liu in here. And let's see, 265 Marble, or Maple. Byron, South Carolina, 28795. 3400, 2280, enter, 35, tab, Scott, tab, Jeff, tab, 1925 Pine, tab Georgetown, tab North Carolina, tab 28794, tab 500, tab 0. Ah, got him in. Oh, my bad. I was doing that for YouTube's posterity's sake. And then David Pacheco was, no. This one goes out to all my homies in the Microsoft office. Welcome back to his house. Microsoft can't sue anybody right now. They're circling the drain. Well, they're doing all right, but.
Now they're really going to come after you.
Hey, they're giving away Office for free on the iPhone. It's awesome. All mobile platforms. You guys, did you get it? Did you download Office?
No.
Full-blown Microsoft Office for free. Oh, wait, it's not out on Android yet. It will be soon, though. Because it's free Office. There's no need on your phone. Yeah, Bill Gates said nobody ever needs more than 640K of RAM either, so, we'll see. We all there? It's the part I hate of this class, waiting for you to type. You slow peasants. No. All right, so I'm going to show you now this really intricate, complicated maneuver in Access. Does anybody remember the Konami code? Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select start. You get 30 extra lives. It's Contra, it's Konami code. There you go. Or Life Force was the other game that did that. A lot of them, came out. Wreck-It Ralph. That's how you get into something in Wreck-It Ralph. Can't remember. Anyway, we don't need to use that here. This is really simple. All we have to do is click in between these two columns, just like in Excel, and drag them. And we can size these columns so that we can put more on the same page. We could double tap in between, just like in Excel, and it will shorten them to the size required for that entry. I like the double tap. It makes it nice and simple. But we can fit more on one page. In all reality and in all honesty, after we get done building a database, the users of the database should never be looking at this page right here. There's a lot of power in this page. This is like command line in operating system. So we're going to build them a GUI or a form that they get to go through and put things in so they can't do too much damage. We're going to try and prevent the damage from happening. But this is for us super users, us snobs of a database. We like to work within here because we can do lots of things very quickly and powerfully. Okay, so we've got a total. We can look down here and see that we have our records being explained to us. We have 5 records. And if I click backwards, we actually only have 4 of them in here. As soon as I went back, it was waiting for me to do the new one. But as I advance records or go back through records, number 2 is going to be this one, number 3. It knows, and it's keeping it all together. So Manuel Martinez lives in Kyle, and there's no way I can make him live in Byron unless I went in and changed the type. So I'd have to go and fix that if I wanted to at some point. But it's not just going to randomly move. So we've learned how to resize columns in a data sheet. I love that. Next, flipping the page. We're going to preview the contents of a table and printing the contents of a table. So does anybody know the shortcut key to print? That's paste. I'm just kidding. It is Control P. So Control P. This, yeah, there you go. He knows it's Control V. That's good. So we can hit print. We can print it out if we'd like. All this will do is print a table that looks a lot like this. We can actually go to a print preview. We go up to File, down to Print. We can say Print Preview. And we can see that this is what it would look like on a page if we were to print it. Now, it is not all there, so we could go to Landscape, and we'd see that, oh, there, now I have everything in this one. But this is a very small table. I mean, this really doesn't have much information in it at all. As the world is getting more programmers in it, I feel like less and less we're needing to create our own databases. But there does come a time sometimes where you're like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to build a database really quick and keep track of this information I need to. But it is good to understand how it works, because once you get it into something, it's easier to take care of. I must have the squeakiest chair in this entire place. I feel like it's okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So we can create additional tables, and we're going to create another table. So let's go ahead, and this time we're going to do it straight from the design view instead of doing it all on the data sheet view. Go ahead and close our print preview. We're going to go ahead and close this table. I'm going to say yes, I'd like to save it. And then I can come over here and we can do it one of two ways. We can either, no, we can't right mouse click. We can go to all access, do one, or we can go to create. We're going to go ahead and create a new table design. And you'll notice that instead of taking us to the data sheet view, it brought us right in here. We're going to use the information on page 33. On page 33. To create a new table. What is the name of the table, John Lacey? Client table is correct. So we don't have to rename it just yet. What's our first? I've only been teaching a little while. I have little tricks, but I'm glad you picked up on that one. All right, so on page 33, read us the paragraph right after that, John Lacey. I'm just kidding. So I'm just kidding. What's it going to be called, Michael? What's the table going to be called?
I don't know where that's at on here. I have to open it.
On page 33, we're looking at table 1-5. That big brown blob right in the middle.
I don't see the title.
Look up at the top in the big red thing, orange thing.
For sure, client table.
So what are we going to call it? Client table. This is correct, okay? So we're going to call this one a client table. We can rename it right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to go through and start adding the fields. So what's the first field we're going to want, Michael, in this client table? What is it?
The first field, the client number.
Client number. Perfect. So we're going to call this one client number. It is a text field. We want 4 characters, or field size of 4. It's going to be 2 uppercase letters followed by 2-digit numbers. We'll get into that because you're like, whoa, how are we going to do that? We'll force it to do that, not just quite yet. The caption is going to be CL hashtag, because we are so hashtag blessed. Sorry.
What's the real name for the hashtag? Or is it called the hashtag
Pound? Yeah, it's called pound. Number sign, tic-tac-toe, hashtag. Pick one. Nope. All right. I was trying. Next one's going to be client name.
Also called ass.
What? Pound sign.
That was
Next one, street. We're going to have 15. Oops. Text of 15. Next one is city. Text. 15. State. Text. 2. Postal code. 5. Amount paid. Currency. Current due. Currency. Contract hours. year to date. It's going to be a number. Now when it says number, what's the field size? It's going to be a single. So we're going to drop down long integer. We're going to call it a single number. And the caption is going to be hours year to date, HRS. Format is going to be fixed. So if we click on this, we should get this little drop down. You'll either get drop downs on the right down here or 3 dots. So we're going to call it fixed. And decimal places of 2.
What do you put this one?
On contract hours years to date. And now here's an interesting one. This one is going to be the business analyst number. Do we already have those? Yeah, they're in another table. So we're going to bring this in later a different way, but let's go ahead and just call it right now. Analyst number. It's going to be text. It's going to be 2 wide, and it's going to be BA number sign.
Your other is going.
My what?
Your other.
Yeah, that's right now. Hashtag. Okay, so we've created a secondary table. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Yes, answer.
For the notes under the description, would you just write that just to the right where it says description?
Do we have a description that we missed?
Yeah, it says, for instance, client number, the description client number, parentheses, 2 uppercase letters followed by 2-digit number.
Sure, yeah, we can put that in there. Yeah, that's good. Sure.
Oh.
More information is always better.
This-
The description is going to come up. I'll tell you what the description will do. Is that what you're going to ask?
It'll show up only for us?
No, it's going to show up in the form if they hover over the field. That's what will come up.
Oh, okay.
So, or if they look for, if they hit like a question box, that's what's going to come up. So we'll say client number. Two uppercase letters followed by 2-digit number.
And then it would be the same with business analyst number.
Excellent. Thank you, Shane. Mother of pearl. I need to give you an Excel worksheet now. So we've got this one saved. We're going to save this as client table.
Number of business analysts for client. How did you set the primary?
Well, yeah, I need to right mouse click, say this is the primary key. I apologize I didn't do that, everyone.
That's what I was trying to
So set your client number as a primary key. Now I can save this. And
Oh, we're saving it as client table.
we're going to resume. Okay. Now we're going to, instead of typing, we could have spent the last 10 minutes typing, but we spent the last 20 minutes figuring out how to extract. So that's all right. We got it. We're slowly going to get there. And now you guys have all 3 chapters, so we don't have to go through that again. So when this comes up through the multiple chapters and through your homework, that's not going to be a big problem. But we could type all this in, but what we're going to do is we're going to import, because this looks, actually let me go right over here, hit view. Because this sets up pretty much like an Excel spreadsheet, guess what? We can bring Excel spreadsheets in And so if we're a company that has been tracking stuff or things on an Excel spreadsheet, we're going to go up here and we're going to do a quick little import to this thing. So we are going to get some external data. Click. Guess where it's going to come from?
Excel.
That's amazing. Look at that. Excel, he got it right there. I was doing a project way back in Y2K. I think I've told you about that project before. But I actually used this ODBC database in input because we had a file that came out from another database. It wasn't Access. It wasn't Excel, but that one works with a bunch of different things also. So we have different ways to do this, but we're going to go ahead and import from Excel. We are going to look for that location where we just placed everything. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive. I'm going to go into classes. I don't know where you put it. I put it in APP126, Chapter 1. And look at this. I've got all these different things to do. Guess what? Case 1, 2, 3, when you're doing your assessment this week, that's what it's going to be based on. So you don't want to have to retype anything. You can just import the data. It's pretty awesome. But I'm going to bring in, guess which one? Kashmali client data.xlsx. So I'm going to go ahead and click Open. It's going to ask me, do I want to import the source of data into a new table? No, because we just built the table that I want for it. So I want to append a copy of the records. Do I want it to go in a business analyst or a client table?
Client table.
Client table, bingo. This one down here, link. This is an awesome feature, but it can be very dangerous. Linking means I can change everything in Excel, and it will automatically, every time I open up Access, it'll pull the data from it. So if we wanted to do that, we could. It's a more advanced feature. We're not going to do that here, but it's awesome. So we'll probably do that by the end of the class. But so we're going to append. We're going to click OK. It's currently open. Oh yeah, we got to close this thing. We want to close it, make changes. Now it comes up, and I love this feature right here. It shows us, well, this is what I have for the client number. This is what I have for the name, the street, the city, state, zip. We can look at it right off the bat and say, what? That looks good. Or it's totally screwed up. Like maybe we need to reorganize some of our rows and things like that. But in this case, it looks pretty nice. So we could hit finish. Oh, and also we've got this checked. First row contains column headings.
Can you go to the right a little bit, please?
I can go to the left, No.
There it is. Okay.
That's just a graphic issue happening right now.
Just check.
I'm going to go ahead and click Next. We're going to import it to the table. I'm going to click Finish. Now we can do a save import, but we're not going to. We're just going to hit Close. And now our client table, when we click on it, double click on it, oh my goodness, all that typing automatically came in.
Did you click on would like wizard to analyze the table?
No, I did not click on the wizard to analyze the table. Wizards are only in Harry Potter. It's a falsehood, okay? Voldemort is not real.
I guess business analyst number does not exist in the destination.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
You guys got what?
The business analyst.
You didn't put that last one?
Client data doesn't exist.
Well, you didn't put that field in. You didn't check append. Do you have the BA number sign at the end?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Really, Shane? Really, Shane? Oh, it's only people with Lenovo's having this problem.
Let me go through the motions.
Oh. Browse, find that Cam Shawley. Client table. Finish. Field business analyst number does not exist in destination table.
I got a different.
What'd you get? You're in the zip. You can't be in the zip. You got to get into the normal file. What happened to yours? Append? Yeah, browse to find it. There you go. Click open. Go down to OK. Oh yeah, client, OK.
Client number.
Yes. Finish. Just click finish. Does not exist. You guys have done something. All right, let me look at that in a minute. There you go. Business, not business. Did yours work? Did yours work? chapter 1. No, that's not the right chapter 1 then. Oh, you know what? Here, let's go back here. Cancel. We haven't built this whole thing yet. The client table's all on, right? I don't think this will work for you because the client table's not right, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and external data, Excel. We're gonna just make a new one. And I think it's on the desktop. Where'd you put it? I don't think that's it. Maybe it is. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Good. Finish.
No, that was, yeah.
And it's in. So just click on that sheet 1. It'll come up. Did you get it? You did something wrong? Did you get it or spelled wrong? Get it? I love those headphones. I have the same set. Did you get it? Did you get it? Okay, I can come help you. Did you get it? Okay, you got to make sure you've spelled everything right. There's a really quick answer to this. Really quick, everyone. If you're getting the error, do not import it in. Just make a new table. Delete your table you did before. You're going to have to go through and set the parameters, but it means you've misspelled something. Business is good. So just do import, the top one. Just make a new one. Then hit finish. Now you're in the business analyst table.
Right, no, I'm just saying, this is the new blank record.
Well, down. Yeah, but you're in something, so it won't let you do a new one until you start with this one. Yeah.
I just want to make sure I was
So what you're gonna do is go to the,
You gotta go. You gotta go.
But you'll be teaching tomorrow or?
No. So we're on queries right now. You guys are gonna have to finish a chapter in order to know what to do. Exercise, okay? So we've imported the data. We have this thing done. The next step is to create a query. A query is like a Google search. We're going to type in what we're looking for, and it's going to bring something back out.
everything should work.
Has anybody done a complicated Google search with like one thing plus another thing, and then you wanted a specific term so you can put it in quotes, and it won't just return random crap. It'll return stuff with that specific stuff. That is a very specific database query based on Google. We're going to do the same thing here. So all we're telling it to do with the query is I want to pull certain information out, and I want it to be ordered in a certain way. So we're going to minimize what's happening through this. So if we look on page 43, we can come up here. I'm going to go ahead and close the client table. Save that thing. Good. I'm going to create a query. Now I can do this as a wizard or through a design. A wizard uses Voldemort magic, so we can do that. And it allows us to do this very simply. It's going to ask us a set of questions of what we want from our data. So this one, I'm going to say I want a simple query. It comes up and says, okay, what am I querying from? That's this first section right here. What am I querying from? I can query a query, and you can query a query that queries a query. So it gets a little complicated, so it goes down. It's like Inception. We're dreaming within a dream within a dream. Andrea's like, oh yeah, dun, dun. Okay, but what we're going to do here is we're going to just pull a couple certain things. And as we look at this, this means bring over this specific field. This means bring over everything. This means remove that field and remove everything. So what we're going to pull on this one is we're actually going to pull across the client number. Now the order with which we put this in is important. And I can just double click it, or I can click this little single over here, because it's going to come through in this order. The name, the amount paid, the current due.
You're doing the query.
That's what I'm doing. Contact hour or contract hours, and the business analyst number. So I'm saying that I want to pull this information from a table. I'm going to go ahead and say next. And I want to have a detail, show every field. And then I'm going to open the query in information view, click finish. Now what we have is a list here. And it's a list of everything that I've asked for. Now you're going to say, Mr. Greer, we just eliminated some stuff. Why is this important? Weren't you going to say that? Yeah, you're like, what's the point of this? Well, let's say I want to see everybody that works with Kyle, and we'll get to how to connect this, but let's say it's that business analyst 11. I want to see what his people are doing. I actually go in here to my design view of my query, and I can change to see everybody that has 11. And when I run it, it's now, all the information's there because it's pulling it from the table, but it's that quickly just honed down to, hey, here's everybody that's got Kyle. Does anybody see why that can be so awesome? I mean, we can pull it up. We do this all the time with you guys. It's like, we need to look at all the Fs from last month. Everybody in that list, guess who's going to come talk to them? Me. Okay? We're going to pull down the dean's list. Everybody that's got a 3.5 for the quarter or over. Guess what that is? It's a query. I want everybody's grades for the last 3 mods that have a 3.5 cumulative GPA or higher. We can do any of these queries. They just get much more advanced and much more complicated as we get further into this. So we're going to save this right now. We'll do the queries again tomorrow. You, Mr. Timothy will, or Mr. Phillips. You guys will do that tomorrow, and then we'll get you through this, and then we're going to be working on apply your knowledge, extend your knowledge, make it right. If you're up for a challenge, I would ask you to try to do it tonight, and then you can go straight into your cases and places after you guys get done tomorrow with this, okay? But this is just week 1. We have 8 weeks in this class. Just kidding. Andrew's like, no, make it not so. We got 3 chapters, and the final week you're going to make your own database up. Yes, sir. I believe he's going to let you pick whichever one you'd like.